right? Your center. Um, there should be a program how you guys should train your correctional officers. Teach them compassion, because first of all, a lot of those people that work there, they treat us like animals, and they think that we're game. I seen correctional officers throw apples at inmates for fun because they're bored. You know what I'm trying to say? I seen things that in prison that you're like, wow, how can you try to help us to change, become men, when you guys are treating us like animals? You know, I seen people get disrespected. You know, not saying that they have an easy job, because yeah, there is people that are, you know, they were raised the wrong way, but there's people that they're trying to change, and by you treating them in like animals, they're not going to. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember one of my experiences. I went to solitary confinement for 15 days for trying to give somebody 3 cups of coffee and 3 stamps. 3 cups of coffee and 3, not hurting not one person. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't like I'm trying to charge him for him. He didn't have it. He had 0 things to his name. He couldn't even drink a cup of coffee. And I go risk my life to go give it to him. Obviously, yeah, I was wrong. I should have never took it from one point to the other. But you know what? I'm for my people. And if I see you struggling, I'm gonna try to help you. I did those 15 days with my head up, but I know that I did it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is treat your or find somewhere to how you could train, or at least try to see who you're letting work in the prison system. Because a lot of those people don't have no type of moral ethics. They don't have compassion. A lot of those people don't care. They're just there to get paid, to babysit, and go home. And no disrespect, they just sit there, get out of shape, and you know what I mean? And they're living life while they treat people like garbage. That's all I gotta say.
I just want to, sir, I want to give you an example. There's a guy who I'm just going to say his name is Torti, all right? No money. Brother gone. That's another whole story. They were serving time together. He asked his boy for some money, and his girlfriend put $30 in his account, $35 in his account to be exact. That was charged as extortion, and he did 10 years in solitary confinement for that. Because he wanted to eat food. Trenton State Prison right now. Sir?
Yes, I think you guys are on point completely. I just wanted to bring attention to a few points. About a month ago, a young girl was arrested, 13 years old, at an alternative high school for assaulting 2 staff and a teacher. Now, I went to an alternative high school before, been around myself. There's no doubt in my mind that she wasn't at fault, that she was pressured into something. Unfortunately, the police came to the school, arrested her in handcuffs, took her away. And of course, on NewJersey.com, because of the rules and regulations of, privacy with minors and stuff, there was no word after that as far as what happened to her. So naturally, in the media, it's an opportunity for everyone to think that she was wrong and that she was guilty. Now, in alternative high schools, there's no education. You sit there, you do nothing, you're allowed to come to school, and all you have to do is sleep. That's all you got to do. And when I went to alternative high school, there was about an arrest a week. And at first, when I thought the police come to arrest the students there, I thought they were trying to send us a message, until one day I realized they weren't trying to send us a message. They were arresting them there because they knew they were in school, and that was the one place they could track them down easily. So these practices at alternative high schools still happen today. There is not enough talk because students, when they don't know what to do with them, and many of them are a minority youth, they get sent there and they're just left there until they turn 18. And then at that point, I dropped out of school on my 18th birthday. I couldn't take it anymore, But my other points is that just a point of attention right here in Newark. I don't know if this is good or bad, but it was something that I read in the papers that Newark reestablished the hirement about a year ago of 6 truancy officers. And that gives them, they actually ended the program a couple years earlier, and then they brought it back. And when they brought it back, it was getting criticism because the program didn't work originally. Is going out after students on the street that are truant at the time, is there maybe something going on at home? Is there something maybe going on at their life for which they're not in school? Is it necessary to send official police out them to arrest them? And finally, one last point. A couple weeks ago on the Atlantic City boardwalk, there were more arrests. 14 and 15-year-olds were arrested for robbing people on the boardwalk. Again, Atlantic City, youth programs cut. school system bad, and we have the nerve to sit here and blame the teenagers. Now, I will close with one last statement.
Real quick.
One last statement. When I got out of work last summer, I went for a walk on the boardwalk just to clear my mind. I'm a banquet server. I get out at 12, 1 at night. As I came by, a lot of boardwalk was busy. Police car comes down the boardwalk with the lights on. That's unusual. They get out of the car. They open the back door. A young woman steps out. They yell, scream at her, just inhumane comments, totally put her down, drive away. This poor young woman was standing in the middle of the boardwalk with just hundreds of people staring at her silence. That's what I call
We
there's
have
just
about
no
3 minutes.
there's no dignity to that.
Right.
And
So-
I think there's something that needs to be done too. Is it's just not about how police treat people in prison. It's about how they also treat people who get stereotyped every day.
It's a
That's
culture.
right.
It's
It's
a
a
culture.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I lost it.
I like
The young lady, and then this really has to be quick. It's got to be like a 10-second thing, all of you, because we're going to get kicked out of the room because there's another workshop coming here. Oh, you have to join. Join the Integrated Justice Alliance on Facebook, but also join the Latino Action Network on Facebook, because we are the main plaintiffs in the desegregation class action lawsuit against the Department of Education to desegregate schools. It just doesn't mean the schools. There's a whole lot of things in this structure, in this system, that is being looked at with this class action lawsuit, and it's just another piece of us trying to do the right thing in this country. Go ahead, ma'am. And I'm sorry that we're rushed, but
Okay, it's short. I'm from a constituency in this whole country called grandparent caregivers.
right here.
And we have a lot of power. They treat us worse than they treat a lot of people. But if people could reach out to these grandparent caregivers, because these are our grandchildren, and they put limitations on us because they are our grandchildren. But there's nothing that we wouldn't do as a group to join another group to help our grandchildren. So I'm just saying, reach out for us because we need your help and you need our help. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, beautiful woman. Sir, real quick. And then Ron, and then Max, and then you. So it's got to be really quick.
Okay, quickly. I just want to say the importance of mental health services. I'm going into clinical psychology because I understand that 17 years, I was incarcerated 17 years, had a tremendous effect on me. And I know there are a lot of my brothers who are coming home and mentally they're not right. And because of the stigma of mental health, they're not seeking the help that they need. So I would like to see more emphasis on mental health.
Thank you. Ron, Max, and this gentleman, and then we're going to wrap up. Real
Sure.
quick.
Not too long ago, we passed a law that increased the age of being waived up from 14 to 15. However, there are children, men and women now, that were 14 years old when that crime happened, and they're still in prison, and there's no.
I'm working on it, Ron.
Yeah, for it to be retroactive, yes. And the courts have. So I just wanted to be clear on it. And good, if you're working on it, then me and you have to have another conversation.
Thank you. Max.
All right, I would just like to say I would like to see more emphasis put on housing for a lot of the returning citizens that are coming back out there. That is a major issue. And when I say housing, I'm talking about it takes safe housing. I'm not saying throwing them right back in the hood, because that's not safe housing. And I guarantee you, the average guy that gets an apartment in his own place and stuff, you're not going to have any problems. But it'll be the first one he ever had in his life, and he's going to be more focused on living there.
You might want to stay in this room because the anti-poverty network is next workshop in this room, and they're going to get right on that. Okay. Sir. Sir, real quick.
Yes, I believe exactly what the young man over here said about investing in resources, but I think we invest a lot of money up here instead of stopping it down here before they even get started. And also, a lot of times the juveniles go into the system because they get poor representation. These public defenders, that's what we call them sometimes because they pretend to represent the kids. And I know for a fact that I had to stop a couple of kids from being sent to jail because they're poor representation. And one of the last thing, this Megan's Law thing. Kids have been stamped in Megan's Law at 12 years old, 13 years old, because it's put together, just slapped together, and the kids are, when they get out of juvenile, they can't get a job, they can't do anything.
There's a lot of conversations that are being had around that particular issue.
Thank you.
Sir?
Excuse me. My name is Youssef, and thank you for appearing today and speaking. But my issue is, you were speaking like you would like to have information related to things not working, and as far as having an oversight committee to help individuals that are having difficulty with teeth. Okay, so that's we're gonna get some action then. So, like I'm saying, do the state allocate money to these halfway houses where individuals go to make the transition back into society? Because if so, I'm a victim in there to where I was in Harbor House and I wasn't out there participate in the reentry program to make a smooth transition because I started writing grievances and things of that nature. However, I'm home now, I'm going to college, trying to find my lane. But it's individuals that's in the college now that's complaining that Harbor House is taking their grants, the Pell grants that's allocated for them to go to school, and just holding their money. Also, when you speak in here, that you talk about how you passed legislation pertaining to birth certificates and IDs, Harbor House again is not following that criteria. You might fill out the paperwork with individuals not getting the information they need. So I'm just, this is speaking on what I know.
Oversight.
And that's
Chief?
happening all over the state with the halfway
Yeah.
houses too. I just wanted to have everybody save the date for March the 25th, our National Day of Empathy. We will be pulling people together from across the state of New Jersey to talk about these issues in a different form. And hopefully that you all will participate with us this year. Last year we held one in 6 different locations. This year we're going to make it easy. We're coming to Camden, to Rutgers from 6 to 8. I hope you all will join us in Camden as we can continue these conversations and build our committees and workshops to create this oversight, because it comes from the ground up. And then when we get to the champions like this lady here, our great senator, and our fantastic Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, and so many other of our legislative body that have been working with us throughout these years, they need us and we need them. And grandparents, I'm with you.
There's a few of us in the room. I thank you so much. I didn't hear any of you say we was on the wrong track or the right track, so I'm going to take that as we're on the right track. I invite you in every way to join us. The Integrated Justice Alliance Latino Action Network, it's important for you to not just sit in that chair. You must understand that this becomes an obligation when you sit in a room like this where truth is being spoken. Because you're not supposed to just take it and, put it in your pocket and go home. You're supposed to carry this message forward to somebody else who wasn't here, and you make sure that they hear this message, the truth. Unlike what some things are going on around in this country full of hate today. Thank you so much.